Hello and welcome to this episode of RPGGamer Top 5s, and this time we're going to do the top 5 RPGs available on the Nintendo Gamecube. This week, once again, we've gone to a public poll for this system, as at the time it was released, I was but a poor student, and totally missed the opportunity to own one of these. Even though there were loads of titles I'd grown to love on the SNES and N64, which received sequels on the Gamecube, that I'd loved to have owned at the time. The Nintendo Gamecube was released by Nintendo in Japan and North America in 2001, and Europe and Australia in 2002. It was a 6th generation console and the successor to the N64, and competed with Sony's PlayStation 2, Microsoft's Xbox, and Sega's Dreamcast. The Gamecube was the first Nintendo console to use optical discs as its primary storage medium. The discs are in the mini DVD format, and the system was not designed to play full-size DVDs or audio CDs, unlike its competitors, and focused on gaming instead. The console supports limited online gaming for a small number of games via a Gamecube broadband or modem adapter, and can connect to a Game Boy Advance with a link cable, which allows players to access exclusive in-game features using the handheld as a second screen and controller. The system used an IBM PowerPC Gecko processor running at 486 MHz, and had 24 MB of memory, an ATI Flipper graphics system running 162 MHz, and was capable of 40 million polygons a second at 640 by 480 resolution, or 768 by 576 interlaced in PAL games, although this drops to 20 million polygons a second when using fully textured and lit complex models. Reception of the Gamecube at the time was generally positive. The console was praised for its controller, extensive software library and high quality games, but was criticised for its exterior design and lack of features. Nintendo sold 21.74 million Gamecube units worldwide before the console was discontinued in 2007. Its successor, the 7th generation Wii, some models of which have backward compatibility with most Gamecube software, was released in November 2006. But with that, let's get on with the countdown. And at number 5, Baten Kaitos Eternal Wings and the Lost Ocean by Namco in 2003, with 106 votes. In Baten Kaitos Eternal Wings and the Lost Ocean, the player assumes the role of a guardian spirit, an unseen player avatar, who guides the protagonist Kalas and his party of companions in an adventure across an aerial, floating island-based kingdom in the clouds. The game is focused around the concept of Magnus, magical cards that capture the essence of items found in the in-game world. The concept is used as a plot device, for in-game item management, and as a basis for the card-themed battle system. The game was noted for its unique battle system, which included aspects of turn-based and action-based battle systems, collectible card games, and poker. Developed specifically for the Gamecube due to its lack of JRPGs in its game library, the game was generally well received by critics, but received lukewarm sales. Despite this, a prequel, Baten Kaitos Origins, was greenlit and released at the end of the Gamecube's lifespan, receiving a similar reception itself. Outside of the cancelled Baten Kaitos DS, no further entries have been announced or released, with the team largely focusing on other projects, like the Xenoblade Chronicles games. In the years following, however, Monolith Software staff have mentioned the desire to return to the series should the opportunity ever arise. At number 4, Skies of Arcadia by Sega in 2002, with 222 votes. Skies of Arcadia is a role-playing game developed by Overworks for the Dreamcast and published by Sega in 2000. Players control Vice, a young air pirate, and his friends as they attempt to stop the Valuan Empire from reviving ancient weapons with the potential to destroy the world. Skies of Arcadia uses traditional Japanese role-playing game systems such as turn-based battles and experience points, but puts far greater focus on exploration, with the player flying an airship in 3D space. The development team included staff who had contributed to Panzer Dragoon, Phantasy Star, Sonic the Hedgehog, and Sakura Wars games. Skies of Arcadia was one of the best reviewed Dreamcast games, but underperformed commercially. After Sega's exit from the hardware industry, it was ported to the Gamecube as Skies of Arcadia Legends in 2002. Gameplay is similar to early 3D Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest games. The player engages enemies in turn-based battles to earn experience points, making their character stronger. The overworld is divided into 6 regions, traversed by flying airships in 3D space. Discoveries, hidden locations reward the player with extra benefits. The world map starts out blank, and it's up to the player to chart the map through exploration. The player may also recruit characters they encounter in exploration, allowing them to be placed on the ship or base's staff, adding extra benefits to exploration or battle. When docked on landmasses or warships, exploration occurs on foot. There, gameplay alternates between exploring cities and progressing through the game's dungeons. Cities are visited to buy equipment to make the character stronger, and interact with non-player characters to progress the story. The dungeons exist in the form of a maze, with the player navigating the characters through it to obtain beneficial items and treasure chests, while taking on enemies in random battles. Getting through to the end of the maze generally culminates in a last boss battle to be won prior to exiting. The battle system involves managing spirit points, magic points, and a multicoloured moonstone system. And at number 3, Fire Emblem Path of Radiance by Nintendo in 2005, with 242 votes. Fire Emblem Path of Radiance is a tactical role-playing video game developed by Intelligent Systems and Nintendo SPD, and is the 9th main installment in the Fire Emblem series, and the 3rd to be released in the West. As with previous installments, gameplay revolves around positioning characters on a battlefield to defeat an opposing force. If characters are defeated in battle, they are removed from the rest of the game. The story takes place in the continent Tellius, inhabited by the humanoid Bjork and the shapeshifting Laguz. The game begins when the Bjork nation of Dayan invades the fellow Bjork nation of Crimea. The mercenary Ike journeys to restore Crimea's heir, Princess Alincia, to the throne. Ike and his group travel across Tellius, allying with other nations to free Crimea from Dayan's control, and confronting racial tensions and long-standing resentment between the Bjork and the Laguz along the way. Path of Radiance began development for the Gamecube after the overseas success of the Game Boy Advance game Fire Emblem, becoming the first home console entry in the series since Fire Emblem Thracia 776. The game is the first entry in the series to feature 3D graphics, full motion cutscenes, and voice acting. The series' transition to 3D caused multiple difficulties for the developers. At number 2, Tales of Symphonia by Namco in 2003, with 297 votes. The game takes place in a fictional world called Silverant, and follows Lloyd Irving. Lloyd accompanies his childhood friend Colette Brunel, who is destined to go on a journey to save the world. As their journey progresses, they learn that saving Silverant endangers Teveala, a world parallel to their own. The game's central theme is an RPG that resonates with you, and its reception was generally positive, with critics praising the gameplay but criticising the plot. It received a Japan Game Award in 2003, and has received re-releases under the Player's Choice and PlayStation 2 The Best labels. In the United States, over 100,000 copies were sold on different formats in the first 2 weeks alone, and the game has sold over 1 million copies worldwide. Since its release, Tales of Symphonia spawned a substantial media franchise in Japan. The game has been adapted into 7 manga collections, 2 novel series, 7 drama CDs, an OVA anime series, and a sequel entitled Tales of Symphonia Dawn of the New World was released for the Wii in 2008. Tales of Symphonia and its sequel were collected as a PlayStation 3 high-definition release in Tales of Symphonia Chronicles in 2013, and a Steam version was released on February 2, 2016. And at number 1, Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door by Nintendo in 2004, with 312 votes. Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door was developed by Intelligent Systems and published by Nintendo, and is the second game in the Paper Mario series. The Thousand Year Door borrows many gameplay elements from its predecessor, such as a drawing-based art style and a turn-based battle system with an emphasis on action. For the majority of the game, the player controls Mario, although Bowser and Princess Peach are playable at various points. The plot follows Mario's quest as he tries to retrieve the 7 crystal stars and rescue Peach from the X-Nauts. The game was well received by critics, attaining an average score of 88% from game rankings. Critics generally praised the game's engaging plot and gameplay, but criticised it for not being a big progression from its predecessor. The Thousand Year Door won the Role-Playing Game of the Year award at the 2005 Interactive Achievement Awards. The Thousand Year Door has a unique visual style. The graphics consist of a mixture of 3D environments and 2D characters which look as if they're made out of paper. At different points in the game, Mario is cursed with abilities that enable special moves in the overworld, all of which are based on the paper theme. Mario can fold into a boat or a paper aeroplane by standing on a special activation panel, and roll up into a scroll of paper or become paper thin. The game's environments also follow this theme. For example, illusionary objects that conceal secret items or switches can be blown away by a gust of wind due to the environment's paper-like qualities. And that's it for our top 5 RPGs available on the Nintendo Gamecube. So what did you think? Did you play any of these? Or have you any suggestions which were missed? Well, let us know your thoughts in the comments below, or by getting in touch through email or the website. So, as always, many thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you like what we're doing, but most of all, you look after yourselves. And we'll catch you later. Bye!